Chairman Durbin, and welcome to our panelists. This is a very important hearing. The Republican side asked for this hearing back in April of last year, and I'm glad we're doing it now. Hate crimes are rising as violent crime goes up in many cities across our country. We've all read horrible stories about attacks in New York, Los Angeles, and a lot of other places. There's been a disturbing rash of threats on historic Black college and universities. Attacks on Asian Americans and Jewish Americans continue at alarming rates. These crimes spread terror far beyond their direct victims. Threats on schools and attacks on houses of worship can intimidate an entire community when that community has been targeted. These crimes chill participation in the most important aspects of our daily lives. These crimes make us afraid to go to the very places where we should feel the most safe. This rise in hate crimes is deeply disturbing to all Americans. In the course of speaking with members of the Black, Asian American and Jewish communities, I've received an outpouring of concern. I'll enter into the record today numerous letters from lawmakers, community organizations, and community leaders about this hate crime spike and how we can combat it. I'd like to recognize some of my guests here today, including UNCF and the Korean American Grassroots Conference. Thank you for sharing your concerns with me, and thank you for your important work. Congress can do much to call out these biased crimes. Congresswoman Steele, with us here today, and myself have led resolutions condemning hates of act against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Senator Cruz and Cornyn from Texas have led a resolution condemning anti-Semitic attack on synagogue in Colleyville, Texas. Senator Scott has led a resolution condemning these hateful threats on HBU's historic Black colleges and universities, and there's more that Congress can do. Last year, we passed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act with overwhelming bipartisan support. I appreciate Senator Hirano's work with Senator Collins to improve the bill, and I appreciate her kind words on the contributions that I and others were able to make. We must now engage in oversight over the department's implementation of that act. One of the challenges in pursuing these crimes is being sure that law enforcement can recognize hate motive. It's therefore unfortunate the FBI refused our invitation to appear here today. The FBI appears to have to struggle at first to even recognize anti-Semitic motives in Colleyville attack. They also have been disorganized in a response to threats at these historic Black colleges and universities. Staff, for myself and for Senator Durbin, worked together and appealed to the FBI to provide witness with knowledge at just about any level in the organization. That organization declined flat out. That's sad, very disappointing. I thank Senator Durbin for pressing with me for an FBI witness. And I hope we will continue rigorous oversight of the FBI's response to hate crimes. The rise in hate crimes coincides with a major rise in crime in many cities. Violence on the streets is up and sadly includes hate crimes as well. One theme that I've heard constantly in speaking with communities that have been targeted by these hate crimes is that the police are stretched thin. They're understaffed and challenged not only by real threats, but also hoaxes that prey on the deeply upsetting nature of hate crimes to achieve a maximum effect. In some cities, the police can't sweep the campus each time that there's a bomb threat against a historic black college and university. I've been informed by groups like Secure Community Network that when law enforcement is overburdened, and this places a terrible weight on houses of worship to provide for their own security. It's no surprise that hate crimes are up in cities where crime is up generally. I hope this hearing will be one of many that will examine all aspects of crime spike and how we can combat it. Thanks to our witnesses for being here today.
Thanks, Senator Grassley.